Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. How many of you have had great ideas, powerful visions, and big dreams, but somehow they never seem to manifest? How many of you have started strong, full of excitement and energy, only to find yourself slowing down, losing focus, and eventually giving up? The truth is, your problem isn't vision, it isn't a lack of desire or motivation. It's consistency. Consistency is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. It's what turns good intentions into great legacies. In fact, everything you desire, the success, the growth, the transformation, comes down to one principle. You must force yourself to be consistent. Consistency builds character, and this is one of the most overlooked but profound truths of life. When we talk about achieving success, we often focus on the end result, whether it's financial gain, personal fulfillment, or recognition. However, the journey to these achievements is where the real transformation happens, and it's in this journey that your character is built. The person you become in the process is often more important than what you achieve. Consistency is the daily practice of showing up, doing what needs to be done, and sticking to your commitments, even when it's hard or when you don't feel like it. Over time, this discipline shapes your inner being, refining your integrity, strengthening your resilience, and making you someone who can not only achieve great things but sustain them. At the core of character development through consistency is the idea of integrity. Integrity means being true to your word, both to others and to yourself. When you commit to something, whether it's a work task, a fitness goal, or a personal promise, your ability to consistently follow through on that commitment says a lot about your character. Each time you force yourself to keep your word, even when the excitement is worn off or the task becomes challenging, you are training yourself to be reliable. This reliability, this integrity, doesn't just happen overnight. It is the result of repeated actions, day in and day out. Consistency is what ensures that your word has value. When you are consistent, people can trust you because they know you are someone who follows through. And more importantly, you begin to trust yourself. This process of building integrity through consistency is like planting seeds. You don't see the results immediately, but over time they grow into something substantial. Many people give up because they don't see the immediate fruit of their efforts. But the truth is, consistency requires patience. Just as a seed takes time to grow into a tree, your character, built through daily habits, takes time to mature. Every time you force yourself to show up, even when you don't feel like it, you're adding another layer to your personal foundation. Eventually, that foundation becomes so strong that it can support great achievements and withstand great challenges. Consistency teaches you resilience. Life is filled with setbacks, disappointments, and failures. If you're only committed to something when it's easy or when things are going your way, you won't get very far. But if you can train yourself to be consistent in the face of adversity, you will develop a level of resilience that most people never achieve. This resilience is what separates those who quit at the first sign of difficulty from those who persist until they reach their goals. When you're consistent, even in hard times, you're telling yourself and the world that your purpose is stronger than your problems. You're proving that you have the strength to keep moving forward, no matter what obstacles come your way. This resilience becomes a key part of your character, enabling you to tackle bigger challenges in the future with confidence. Another important aspect of consistency is the role it plays in refining your discipline. Discipline is what enables you to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency, in turn, reinforces discipline because it requires repeated action, whether you're motivated or not. The more consistent you are, the more you train yourself to act based on commitment rather than emotion. You begin to understand that success is not about how you feel on any given day, it's about what you do consistently over time. This mindset shift from being emotion-driven to being discipline-driven is a major part of character development. Consistency transforms discipline from a concept into a lifestyle where your actions are aligned with your long-term goals, not your short-term feelings. Consistency sharpens your focus. In a world filled with distractions, being able to stick to a routine or a plan is a superpower. Every time you force yourself to stay on course, you are training your mind to prioritize what's important over what's urgent or tempting in the moment. Consistency teaches you to value the process, not just the outcome. It's easy to be distracted by shiny new opportunities or immediate pleasures, but consistent people understand that true success comes from sustained effort in one direction. This focus is part of the character building process because it requires you to develop self-control and prioritize long-term benefits over short-term gratification. As consistency builds focus, it also builds confidence. When you repeatedly show up and put in the work, you begin to trust in your own ability to succeed. You stop doubting whether you can achieve your goals because you've proven to yourself that you can be dependable and disciplined. This self-confidence is an essential part of character, and it is not developed through grand achievements or sudden breakthroughs, but through the daily practice of consistency. Confidence born out of consistent effort is unshakable because it's not based on external validation or short-lived motivation. It's rooted in the knowledge that you are capable of showing up, no matter the circumstances, and putting in the work. Consistency fosters humility. It teaches you that greatness is not achieved overnight, nor is it something that you can attain without effort. Each day you force yourself to be consistent. You're reminded that success is a process, not an event. You become aware of the gap between where you are and where you want to be. But instead of being discouraged, you become grateful for the journey. You begin to respect the grind, the daily effort, and the small steps that eventually lead to big results. This humility, this understanding that nothing worth having comes easy, is a crucial part of character. It keeps you grounded, focused, and persistent in your pursuit of excellence. Consistency builds character by fostering integrity, resilience, discipline, focus, confidence, and humility. It is through the small, repeated actions of showing up every day, doing what needs to be done, that you shape the person you are destined to become. The more consistent you are, the stronger your character. Talent alone is never enough. This is a hard truth that many people don't realize until they face setbacks and frustrations despite their natural abilities. Talent, while valuable, is merely the starting point on the journey to success. It gives you potential, but it does not guarantee results. What really sets apart those who achieve greatness from those who simply have great potential is consistency. The world is filled with talented individuals who never fulfilled their promise, not because they lacked ability, but because they lacked the discipline to consistently apply that ability. In contrast, there are countless examples of people who weren't the most talented in their field, but achieved remarkable success through sheer perseverance and consistent effort. At first glance, talent can seem like the most important factor for success. If you're naturally good at something, it's easy to believe that everything will fall into place. And in the beginning, talent might give you a head start. But talent without consistency is like having a high-performance car with no fuel. It looks impressive, but it won't take you very far. Consistency is the fuel that drives your talent forward, allowing you to go the distance. It's the discipline to show up every day, practice your craft, and continually improve, even when things aren't going your way. Consistency ensures that your talent is put to good use, day after day, inching you closer to your goals. One of the reasons why talent often falls short without consistency is because talent tends to breed complacency. When things come easily to you, there's a natural tendency to coast on your abilities. You may start to believe that your talent alone will carry you through any challenge. But the reality is, challenges arise that demand more than raw talent. They require grit, persistence, and the willingness to put in the hard work, especially when progress is slow or when obstacles appear. This is where consistency becomes critical. It forces you to push past your comfort zone, to continue working even when you don't feel like it, and to keep growing and improving regardless of how talented you are. Consistency also fosters a growth mindset, whereas relying solely on talent tends to create a fixed mindset. When you believe that your talent is enough, you may begin to think that your abilities are set in stone, that you are either good at something or you're not. But a growth mindset, which is nurtured through consistent effort, understands that skills and abilities can be developed over time. Consistency teaches you to value the process of learning and improving. It encourages you to embrace challenges and see failure as a stepping stone to growth, rather than a reflection of your inherent ability. In contrast, if you rely solely on talent, any setback or failure can feel like a personal indictment, leading you to give up more easily. Talent without consistency can make you prone to burnout or disillusionment. When you rely solely on your natural abilities, you may achieve quick wins, but those victories can be short-lived. Success that comes too easily can create unrealistic expectations, leading to frustration when things don't continue to come as easily. Without consistency, you lack the resilience to push through tougher times. Consistent effort, on the other hand, builds endurance. It allows you to pace yourself, ensuring that you don't burn out because you've learned to appreciate the gradual nature of progress. Consistency helps you understand that success is a marathon, not a sprint. Another critical aspect of consistency is its role in mastery. Being talented at something doesn't automatically make you a master of it. Mastery requires time, dedication, and repetition. You might be naturally gifted at playing the piano, for example, but unless you practice regularly, you will never reach your full potential. Consistency turns talent into expertise. It's through the day in, day out effort that you sharpen your skills, refine your techniques, and deepen your understanding of your craft. No one becomes great at anything without putting in the hours. Consistency is what allows you to move beyond surface level proficiency and into the realm of mastery. Consistency also builds credibility both with others and with yourself. People may be impressed by your talent at first, but if you don't show up consistently, that initial impression fades. Whether you're working in a team, running a business, or pursuing a personal goal, people want to know that they can count on you to deliver. Consistency signals reliability. It shows that you're not just a flash in the pan, but someone who is committed to the long haul. This credibility opens doors, creates opportunities, and builds trust. Talent alone won't keep you in the game if people don't see that you're consistently putting in the effort to improve and deliver results. For yourself, consistency builds confidence. When you rely solely on talent, your confidence may be fragile. You might doubt your abilities when you face a challenge that your natural talent doesn't immediately overcome. But when you've developed a habit of consistent effort, your confidence comes from knowing that you have the discipline to push through difficult times. You begin to trust yourself, knowing that you've put in the work and are prepared to handle whatever comes your way. This kind of confidence is solid and enduring because it's based not on the idea that you're naturally gifted, but on the fact that you've consistently earned your progress through hard work and dedication. Consistency outlasts motivation. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes, often based on how we feel in the moment. Relying on motivation to fuel your talent is like waiting for the weather to be perfect before you go outside. Consistency, on the other hand, doesn't rely on how you feel or how inspired you are any given time. It's a commitment to keep going, even when the motivation fades. And that's why consistency is more powerful than talent. Motivation may get you started, but consistency will keep you going. And in the long run, it's those who keep going that achieve the greatest success. Talent is a great starting point, but it is consistency that ensures long-term success. Talent may get you noticed, but consistency keeps you relevant. Talent can give you the ability to excel, but consistency ensures you grow and improve over time. Those who rely solely on their talent often find themselves outpaced by those who commit to showing up and putting in the work day after day. Consistency allows you to tap into your full potential, build credibility, develop mastery, and sustain the kind of long-term effort needed to achieve truly remarkable results. Emotions are fleeting, and if you allow them to dictate your actions, you will struggle to achieve anything meaningful. There's a common misconception that you need to feel motivated, excited, or inspired in order to take action. But if you wait until you feel ready or in the mood, you'll rarely, if ever, take the steps necessary to reach your goals. Consistency is what ensures progress, even when your emotions are all over the place. It's the ability to push through feelings of boredom, frustration, or even doubt and keep going because you're committed to the process, not just the momentary emotional highs. If you master consistency, you will free yourself from the trap of letting your feelings control your actions. And this is where true growth begins. At the heart of this principle is the understanding that emotions are temporary, while the effects of your actions can be long-lasting. On any given day, you may feel tired, unmotivated, or discouraged. These feelings are natural, and they come and go like the weather. But if you only act when you feel good, you will be at the mercy of your emotions. Some days you'll make progress, but on many others you'll stall out. This is why so many people struggle to stay on track with their goals. They rely too much on how they feel in the moment instead of making consistency their guiding force. Consistency requires that you show up and do the work, regardless of how you feel. It's about developing a mindset that says, I will follow through on my commitments, no matter what emotions arise. Consistency, in this sense, becomes a form of emotional discipline. It teaches you to prioritize long-term rewards over short-term feelings. When you consistently take action, even when you don't feel like it, you are training yourself to put your goals and commitments above your emotional state. This doesn't mean that you ignore your feelings or pretend they don't exist. Rather, it means that you don't let them control your actions. You acknowledge them, but you keep moving forward anyway. This is incredibly powerful because it builds resilience. Every time you act in spite of your emotions, you strengthen your ability to persevere, making it easier to stay on track the next time those same emotions resurface. This ability to act despite your emotions also helps you develop self-control. One of the greatest challenges people face is the constant battle between what they want in the moment and what they want in the long term. For example, you may want to stay in bed because you feel tired, but you also want to exercise regularly to maintain your health. If you let your immediate feelings dictate your behavior, you'll miss that workout and potentially fall into a cycle of skipping it again and again. But if you're consistent, you'll push through the fatigue, recognizing that the temporary discomfort is worth the long-term benefit. Each time you do this, you strengthen your self-control, making it easier to resist the pull of momentary emotions in favor of long-term success. Another important aspect of consistency is that it prevents emotional burnout. When people rely solely on their emotions to take action, they tend to swing between extreme periods of intense motivation followed by periods of complete inactivity. The cycle is exhausting and unsustainable. You might feel highly motivated one day and accomplish a lot, but if you can't sustain that energy, you'll quickly burn out and lose momentum. Consistency, on the other hand, promotes steady, manageable progress. By committing to small, regular actions, you avoid the highs and lows of emotional motivation and create a rhythm that is easier to maintain over time. This prevents you from feeling overwhelmed or emotionally drained, which is one of the main reasons people quit on their goals. In addition to preventing burnout, consistency also fosters a sense of accomplishment that can help stabilize your emotions over time. When you consistently take action, even on days when you don't feel like it, you build a track record of success. This track record becomes a source of motivation in itself. Instead of relying on fleeting feelings of inspiration, you can look back at the progress you've made and feel a sense of pride and confidence. This is much more stable and reliable than relying on emotional highs, which can come and go without warning. Consistency allows you to build momentum, and that momentum can become a powerful motivator, carrying you through periods when your emotions might otherwise hold you back. Consistency creates structure, and structure is one of the best tools for managing your emotions. When you have a routine or a plan that you follow consistently, you remove much of the decision-making process that can be influenced by how you're feeling. If you've already decided that you're going to write for an hour every morning, you don't have to waste time debating with yourself about whether or not you feel like it. You just do it because it's part of your routine. This kind of structure provides a sense of stability, which can help keep your emotions in check. It reduces the chaos and unpredictability that often leads to emotional overwhelm, and it gives you a clear path forward, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Consistency teaches you the value of patience. When you're emotionally driven, you may expect quick results because your motivation is high. But when those results don't come as quickly as you'd like, your emotions can turn to frustration or disappointment, leading you to give up. Consistency, however, teaches you to trust the process. You learn that success isn't about quick wins or immediate gratification. It's about steady, persistent effort over time. This patience helps to balance your emotions, allowing you to stay calm and focused even when progress seems slow. You come to understand that real, lasting success takes time, and that every small, consistent step brings you closer to your ultimate goal, regardless of how you're feeling in the moment. Consistency is the key to rising above your emotions and staying on course toward your goals. By committing to consistent action, you free yourself from the ups and downs of emotional motivation and build a foundation of discipline, self-control, and patience. While emotions are fleeting, The results of consistent effort are long-lasting, and over time, they create a sense of momentum and accomplishment that can carry you through even the toughest challenges. Consistency, when applied over time, has a compounding effect. Just like financial investments grow through the power of compound interest, small, repeated efforts build upon themselves to create significant outcomes. This principle is often overlooked because people tend to focus on the immediate results of their actions, expecting large payoffs right away. However, the true power of consistency lies in its ability to accumulate over time, transforming minor daily actions into remarkable achievements. Understanding this can dramatically change how you approach your goals and life in general. Imagine you are trying to learn a new skill, such as playing a musical instrument. On the first day, your progress might be minimal. Your fingers might fumble over the keys, and the notes might sound awkward. It can be easy to get discouraged, thinking that your efforts aren't amounting to much. But if you practice for just 30 minutes every day, something remarkable happens. Each practice session builds on the last one. Your muscle memory starts to improve, your timing gets better, and your understanding deepens. Over the course of weeks and months, that daily 30-minute effort adds up. What seemed impossible at the beginning now feels like second nature. This is a compound effect in action. Consistency takes what starts as small, seemingly insignificant steps and magnifies them over time. The reason consistency compounds over time is that each action you take reinforces the one before it. This creates a ripple effect where progress in one area supports growth in others. For example, if you commit to exercising every day, the initial impact may be that you feel a bit stronger or have more energy. But over time, as your physical strength improves, you might also notice improvements in your mental clarity, mood, and productivity. The benefits of that daily workout extend beyond just physical fitness. They influence other aspects of your life as well. In this way, consistency doesn't just lead to growth in a single area, it can transform multiple areas of your life in ways you might not even anticipate. Consistency also compounds by helping you develop better habits. At first, establishing a new habit can feel like a struggle. You may have to push yourself to take action, and it may require a lot of mental effort. But over time, as you consistently repeat that behavior, it becomes automatic. This is the essence of habit formation. By consistently practicing a behavior, you reinforce neural pathways in your brain, making it easier and more natural to repeat that action in the future. Eventually, the behavior requires less conscious effort, freeing up mental energy for other tasks. This is one of the most powerful aspects of consistency. It not only helps you achieve your goals, but it also makes the process easier over time as your habits solidify. Another way that consistency compounds is through learning and improvement. When you consistently work on something, you gradually become better at it. This improvement isn't always obvious on a day-to-day basis, but over time, the progress becomes significant. Think about someone who is learning a language. On the first day, they might only be able to memorize a few words. After a week, they might know some basic phrases. But after 6 months of daily practice, they can hold a conversation. The consistent effort compounds, and the pace of learning accelerates as they become more comfortable with the language. This is true in any area of life. Consistency allows you to build a foundation of knowledge and skill that grows exponentially as time goes on. Consistency also strengthens discipline, which in turn amplifies its compounding effect. The more consistent you are in your efforts, the easier it becomes to maintain discipline. Every time you show up and put in the work, even when you don't feel like it, you're reinforcing the habit of discipline. This makes it easier to stay consistent in the future. Over time, you become more disciplined not just in the area you're focusing on, but in other aspects of your life as well. For example, if you commit to waking up early every day to work on a personal project, you might find that your discipline in sticking to this routine spills over into other areas. You become more disciplined in your work, your health, and your relationships. This is the compounding effect of consistency. It builds momentum and strengthens your ability to stay committed in all areas of your life. In addition to strengthening discipline, consistency compounds by building confidence. When you consistently take action and see progress, even small progress, it reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving your goals. Each success, no matter how small, boosts your confidence. making it easier to tackle the next challenge. Over time, this confidence compounds, allowing you to take on bigger and more ambitious goals. Confidence is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And just like with physical exercise, the effects of consistently building confidence accumulate over time, leading to a profound sense of self-assurance and capability. Consistency also compounds because it creates a track record of success. Each time you follow through on a commitment or complete a task, you're adding to a history of achievements. This track record becomes a powerful motivator. When you look back and see how far you've come, it reinforces the belief that you can keep going. This creates a positive feedback loop where your past successes fuel your future efforts. The more consistent you are, the more successes you accumulate, and the more motivated you become to continue pushing forward. This is why people who are consistent over the long term tend to achieve extraordinary results. Their consistent efforts have compounded into a solid foundation of success, which propels them to even greater heights. One of the most profound ways consistency compounds over time is through the development of mastery. Whether you're learning a new skill, working on a project, or trying to improve yourself, mastery doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of years of consistent practice and effort. But the beauty of consistency is that it allows you to move closer to mastery every single day. Each small improvement builds on the last, and over time, these incremental gains add up to something extraordinary. People often underestimate the power of small, consistent actions because they don't see immediate results. But if you stay consistent, those small actions will eventually lead to mastery, and mastery is where true excellence is found. Consistency compounds by making you more resilient. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and obstacles. If you're only motivated by short-term success, you're likely to give up when things get tough. But if you've been consistent in your efforts, you've built up the resilience to keep going, even when progress seems slow or when you face difficulties. This resilience compounds over time, making it easier to bounce back from setbacks and stay committed to your goals. The longer you stay consistent, the more resilient you become, and the more likely you are to achieve long-term success, no matter what obstacles come your way. Consistency is a powerful force because it compounds over time. It turns small daily actions into significant accomplishments by reinforcing habits, strengthening discipline, building confidence, and developing mastery. Consistency creates a momentum that accelerates progress and makes success inevitable if you stay the course. While the effects of consistency might not always be immediately visible, over time they build up to create lasting and transformative results. One of the most significant benefits of consistency is that it builds momentum. When you repeatedly take action toward a goal, no matter how small, you begin to generate a forward-moving force that makes it easier to keep going. Momentum is a powerful force that helps you overcome obstacles, push through difficulties, and maintain focus even when challenges arise. It's like pushing a car up a hill at first. It takes a lot of effort to get it moving. But once the car starts rolling, it builds speed and becomes easier to push. Consistency operates in a similar way. It helps you gather speed and move toward your goals with increasing ease. In the beginning stages of any endeavor, the hardest part is often just getting started. Whether you're trying to launch a new project, form a new habit, or reach a long-term goal, the initial phase is usually the most difficult. This is because you haven't yet built up any momentum. You're working from a standstill and every action feels like a struggle. But with consistency, you slowly start to gain traction. Each action you take, no matter how small, adds to the momentum. Over time, what once felt like a monumental effort begins to feel more natural and fluid. This is the beauty of momentum. It reduces the amount of effort required to sustain progress as you continue to move forward. Momentum works in both directions, which is why consistency is so important. Positive momentum generated by consistent action propels you towards success. But negative momentum fueled by inaction or inconsistency can pull you in the opposite direction. If you stop taking action toward your goals, even for a short period, it can feel like starting from scratch when you try to pick up where you left off. This is why it's crucial to stay consistent, even when progress seems slow or when you encounter obstacles. Every action you take, no matter how small, keeps the momentum moving in the right direction. Skipping just one day can slow down your progress and make it harder to get back on track. The more consistently you take action, the easier it becomes to maintain that positive forward motion. As you build momentum through consistency, something interesting happens. Tasks that once seemed difficult become easier. This isn't just because you're getting better at them, though. That's certainly part of it. It's also because momentum reduces the amount of energy required to perform those tasks. When you're consistent in your efforts, you don't have to exert as much mental or physical energy to get things done. You've already built up a rhythm, a sense of flow that makes the process smoother and more efficient. This is one of the reasons why successful people often seem to accomplish so much with less effort. They've built up so much momentum through years of consistent action that their work feels almost effortless. Momentum also makes it easier to overcome obstacles. When you're just starting out and haven't built up any momentum, every obstacle can feel like a major roadblock. You might be tempted to quit at the first sign of difficulty because it feels like you're not making any progress. But when you've been consistent and have built up momentum, those same obstacles feel more like bumps in the road rather than insurmountable barriers. You've already gained enough speed and force to push through them. Momentum gives you the strength and resilience to keep going even when things get tough. It's the difference between trying to move a stationary object and moving one that's already in motion once you're moving. It takes much less effort to keep going. Another key aspect of momentum is that it creates a sense of accomplishment and motivation. When you're consistent in your actions, you begin to see progress, even if it's small at first. This progress fuels your motivation to keep going. Each success, no matter how minor, gives you a sense of achievement that drives you to take the next step. This creates a positive feedback loop. The more progress you make, the more motivated you become, and the more motivated you are, the more consistent you'll be in your efforts. Momentum builds on itself in this way, making it easier to stay committed to your goals over the long term. In addition to making tasks easier and helping you overcome obstacles, momentum also sharpens your focus. When you're consistent in your efforts, you develop a laser-like focus on your goals. This focus is a direct result of the momentum you've built. When you're consistently working towards something, your brain starts to prioritize it. You become more attuned to opportunities and solutions that will help you move forward. This heightened focus makes it easier to stay on track and avoid distractions. You're less likely to get sidetracked by things that don't align with your goals because you're already moving forward with such speed and precision. Consistency and momentum also foster a sense of discipline and perseverance. Once you've built up momentum, it becomes easier to stay disciplined because you've created a habit of taking action. You don't have to rely as much on willpower or motivation because the momentum carries you forward. Even on days when you don't feel like taking action, the force of momentum helps you keep going. This is why consistency is so crucial for long-term success. It's not just about making progress, it's about creating a system that allows you to keep making progress even when the initial excitement or motivation has faded. Another powerful effect of momentum is that it attracts more opportunities. As you consistently take action and build momentum, you start to create a reputation for yourself. People notice your efforts, your progress, and your commitment, and this opens doors to new opportunities. So, whether it's in business, personal development, or any other area of life, momentum creates a ripple effect. Your consistent actions signal to others that you're serious about your goals, which leads to more chances for collaboration, growth, and success. Momentum attracts success because it demonstrates your ability to stay focused and committed over time. Momentum has a way of creating exponential growth. At first, progress may be slow and incremental. You might not see the results you want right away, and it can be easy to get discouraged. But as you stay consistent and build momentum, that progress begins to accelerate. The small steps you've been taking compound over time, leading to larger and more significant results. This is the compounding effect of momentum. It takes time to build, but once it's in motion, it can lead to explosive growth. The more consistent you are, the more powerful your momentum becomes, and the faster you'll move toward your goals. Consistency builds momentum by generating forward-moving energy that makes it easier to stay on track and overcome challenges. Momentum reduces the effort required to maintain progress, sharpens your focus, strengthens your discipline, and attracts more opportunities. It's a powerful force that compounds over time, leading to exponential growth and long-term success. Consistency not only brings success, but it also develops discipline and strengthens character. The process of showing up every day putting in the work, and staying committed to a goal, despite the ups and downs, shapes who you are. It's in this consistent action that real growth happens, not just externally in terms of achieving your goals, but internally in terms of the person you become in the process. Discipline is often viewed as one of the most difficult traits to develop, but consistency makes it possible. The very act of repeating a task, engaging in a routine, and staying the course even when motivation fades, gradually transforms discipline from something external that we try to force into a natural part of our character. When you commit to being consistent, you are training your mind and body to prioritize action over feeling. Discipline often requires doing things when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when distractions are pulling at you, or when you're frustrated by slow progress. Consistency forces you to push past those emotional roadblocks and stay focused on the bigger picture. Every time you push yourself to act in line with your goals, rather than giving in to temporary feelings or distractions, you build a stronger sense of self-control. This self-control is the foundation of discipline, and over time, it becomes easier to maintain. Consistency is also an excellent teacher of patience. In a world where we often expect instant results and quick gratification, staying committed to long-term goals through consistent effort requires patience. You won't see major changes overnight, and the lack of immediate results can be discouraging. However, when you stay consistent, you learn to trust the process. You start to understand that success doesn't happen in one giant leap. It's the result of many small steps taken over time. This teaches you to delay gratification, to keep working even when the payoff isn't immediately visible, and to trust that the cumulative effect of your actions will lead to the desired outcome. This patience becomes a crucial part of your character, helping you navigate not just personal goals but life's broader challenges with resilience and grace. The discipline developed through consistency also carries over into other areas of life. When you become consistent in one area, whether it's fitness, work, or personal development, it begins to spill over into other areas. The act of showing up consistently for one thing reinforces the habit of showing up for others. You develop a mindset of discipline and follow through that impacts how you approach everything else. For example, someone who consistently goes to the gym, even when they don't feel like it, often finds that they're also more consistent in their work or studies. This is because consistency rewires your brain to focus on long-term rewards over short-term comfort, making it easier to apply that discipline across the board. Another key aspect of consistency is that it helps you develop a sense of accountability. When you make a commitment to being consistent, you are, in effect, making a promise to yourself. Every time you follow through on that promise, you reinforce a sense of trust in your own word. This accountability is essential for building character because it forces you to take responsibility for your actions and outcomes. When you are consistent, you can't blame external factors for your lack of progress. Instead, you learn to hold yourself accountable and adjust your behavior as needed. This builds a strong sense of integrity and responsibility, which are key components of strong character. Consistency also reveals your true values and priorities. It's easy to claim that something is important to you, but your actions will always speak louder than your words. If you consistently dedicate time and effort to a particular goal, it demonstrates that the goal is genuinely important to you. On the other hand, if you find it difficult to stay consistent, it might be a sign that you need to reevaluate your priorities or adjust your goals. This process of reflection is crucial for personal growth because it helps you align your actions with your values. When you are consistent, your behavior and decisions are rooted in what truly matters to you, and this alignment is a powerful force for building integrity and authenticity. Consistency builds resilience. Life is full of challenges and setbacks, and it's easy to become discouraged or give up when things don't go as planned. However, when you're consistent, you develop the ability to keep going even when the results aren't immediate or when obstacles arise. You learn that setbacks are part of the process, not the end of it. This resilience, forged through consistent effort, becomes a defining trait of your character. You become someone who doesn't quit at the first sign of difficulty, but who pushes through adversity, confident in your ability to overcome challenges and continue moving forward. This resilience not only helps you achieve your goals, but also shapes you into a stronger, more capable person. Consistency also fosters humility. The path to success is rarely a straight line, And it's through the process of showing up consistently, making mistakes, and learning from them that you gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your limitations. Being consistent requires you to be honest with yourself about where you're falling short and where you need to improve. It forces you to confront your weaknesses and develop strategies to overcome them. This humility is an essential part of strong character because it allows you to grow and improve without being held back by pride or ego. You learn to value the process of growth over the need for perfection, and this mindset helps you stay open to learning and development throughout your life. Consistency helps build credibility. Whether it's in your personal relationships, professional life, or within your community, people value consistency. When you are someone who consistently follows through on commitments, people know they can rely on you. This reliability builds trust and respect, which are foundational to strong relationships and good character. People are drawn to those who are dependable and consistent because it provides a sense of security. In this way, your consistency not only strengthens your character, but also enhances your reputation and influence in the world around you. Consistency fosters self-confidence. Every time you show up for yourself, every time you take action toward your goals, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of achieving what you set out to do. This builds a deep sense of self-confidence that is rooted in your actions, not just in positive thinking or external validation. When you are consistent, you prove to yourself that you can be disciplined, that you can overcome challenges, and that you can make progress even when things get tough. This self-confidence becomes a driving force in your life, empowering you to take on bigger challenges and reach even higher levels of success. It's a quiet, steady confidence that comes from knowing you have what it takes to stay the course and achieve your goals. Consistency is not just a tool for success, it's a transformative force that shapes your character, strengthens your discipline, and builds resilience. By committing to consistent action, you develop the patience to weather challenges, the self-discipline to prioritize long-term goals over short-term comforts, and the integrity to hold yourself accountable. Through consistency, you grow not only in what you achieve, but in who you become. It molds your values, reveals your true priorities, and fosters credibility in every area of your life. Ultimately, it's the key to unlocking your potential and living a life of purpose, excellence, and fulfillment. The journey may be tough, but the rewards are immeasurable. Force yourself to be consistent, and you will discover the power to create lasting success and build a legacy that endures.